Well, let's turn our attention back to Uganda, where the election result has now been confirmed by the Electoral Commission, which puts the incumbent President Museveni back in office for another 5 years. It will see him taking his reign there into its fifth decade. Let's bring in our African correspondent, Yusra Elbegir, who's in the capital, Kampala. Hello there to you, Yusra. Perhaps not a result that comes as much surprise, and an election campaign which has had a very difficult backdrop, hasn't it? It's been amidst violence, protests, allegations of ballot stuffing and so on.
I mean, absolutely. This result comes as no surprise to a majority of the people in Uganda. It was seen as a foregone conclusion by many of the people we spoke to, but it was actually being rejected as the votes were being counted and declared at tally centers. So one of the tally centers we went to, the main one in Kampala yesterday, was the site of quite a feverish fight as opposition members outrightly rejected the results that were being declared on a very local level. So it will be very interesting. There'll be a lot of anticipation around how people will react, especially the supporters of opposition leader Bobi Wine, who is currently in hiding. Last night we heard news being shared by his party that he was abducted by an army helicopter. They've now come out and said that that news was incorrect, that neighbors wrongly assumed he'd been taken after helicopters were seen over his residence. His wife, he says, remains under house arrest. And I'm telling you this just to show you the backdrop of this election. An opposition leader, one in hiding, another, Kizza Besigye, is currently in prison facing detention charges. And you've got a large young population. 73% of Ugandans are under the age of 30. They have only known President Museveni as the ruler of the country. He rallied, he campaigned around Uganda, trying to promise security through prosperity here, through jobs. Youth unemployment is still very high in Uganda and is seen to be an ongoing problem. But I think the issue here is this feeling of helplessness, that democracy is not actively changing the lives of people here, that these elections don't come with any result that feels influenced by the will of the people, by the votes of the masses. So the people that we did speak to felt like their vote was, one, a protest vote, but also their only weapon in a fight that they feel has been waged against them since the last election in 2021. So there's a lot of fear and concern. The military is still deployed in the streets. As we are hearing, as the Electoral Commission was announcing the results, we could hear a helicopter above. There have been military helicopters in the skies over the last 24 hours. And based on how people respond to these results, there could be a continued brutal crackdown and continued instability here in the capital, Kampala.
All right, Yusra, thank you for that update. Just to recap, confirmation from the Electoral Commission that the incumbent President Museveni has been re-elected for a 7th term in Uganda.